Welcome! In this video, we will discuss how to use the Rosetta holding tank to resolve mismatched patient records. The Rosetta holding tank contains files that NextGen cannot place normally into patient charts. These files are typically from external sources such as a laboratory, imaging facility, or medical center. If NextGen cannot exactly match certain items from the incoming file to an existing NextGen patient, the records are held in the holding tank until they are manually reviewed and released. This process is the topic of our video. First, let's review the Rosetta main window and explain how the information is presented. The top toolbar contains an option for changing your practice once you've logged in. This is important for staff and administrators that work with multiple NextGen practices. You can select one practice when you log in, and then switch to the other whenever needed. You will also see an About button here, which identifies your NextGen version and the client support website. Next, you will see a ribbon or toolbar with the functions available to you. This is called the Interface Queue Tools ribbon. We will discuss these actions in more detail in just a few minutes. Then, you will see a data grid, which displays the individual mismatched records and the patients they belong to. Toward the bottom, the Message Details section contains information about why the file could not be matched to a chart and allows you to view documents and images that may be attached. Finally, the status bar across the bottom identifies current and available record counts. Next, let's review your filtering options. In some instances, you may need to locate a particular patient's file or review items that were received on a certain day. It's important to know how to narrow your search for these items. Rosetta filters enable you to find records based on date, provider, location, type of transaction, or by various patient identifiers. To use the filter, click the Filter button. This will create a row of search fields. Choose a search criteria from one of the drop-downs, or type into the spaces provided. For example, to search for all records related to a certain provider, click that filter, then select the provider from the Provider drop-down menu. When you've completed all your matching, click the Clear Filters button to see all results once more. The button for Viewing Newest is a toggle button. Clicking this button switches the filter mode from Viewing Newest to Viewing Oldest. This option can be helpful when trying to locate a particular file, because the items in this list are limited to a certain number of results. Changing the filter option may provide additional records for searching. Lastly, the Orphan View is a filter that displays records that are missing either a practice or enterprise. Items in this category are matched by clicking the Orphan View button and then selecting the items that you wish to pull into the practice and enterprise that you used when you logged into Rosetta. Once these items are pulled in, they can be matched using the normal process that we will discuss shortly. Once records are filtered, several options exist for matching records. These are determined by the type of mismatch that appears in the Details section for each patient. These details appear in red in the lower section. For example, if in the row I've highlighted, the red mismatch indicators show that the provider name is either missing or different from the expected result, I would click Match Provider. If the red mismatch indicator showed a location conflict, I would click Match Location. In this video, we will concentrate on the Match Demographics tool because that tends to be the most frequent source of patient mismatches. The Auto Match Orders button is a way to utilize a rule system for matching patients. For example, if the name of a patient does not match, but the date of birth and social security number do, the system can identify potential matches for you to confirm. These rules are established by each practice. Matching records require the same basic steps. First, highlight the record you wish to match. Then, review the Details section to review the red mismatched items. In some cases, you may need to open the patient's chart in the health record or practice management system to determine the correct provider, location, or ordering information. Once you've determined the correct information, click on the appropriate matching button on the ribbon toolbar and then enter the information as needed. You can repeat this process with other records as necessary. When you're finished matching all items, click Commit. Please note that the records on your screen will remain in the holding tank until you click the Commit button. There are many reasons why patient demographics may not match properly in NextGen. The use of a nickname, punctuation in a name, or middle initials are common scenarios. When this occurs, you'll be able to search NextGen for similar options. It's important to note that with the new electronic referral system, NextGen Share, you may receive files for patients that are new to your office. When this occurs, you will need to register the new patient in NextGen and then match the files. Let's do that now. This patient is a patient at Kootenai Health, but not at Action Orthopedics. To accept the referral files at Action Orthopedics, I need to be logged in under that practice and then highlight the mismatched file. I can tell in the details section that the mismatch is related to patient demographic, so I will click on the Match Demographics button and search for the patient I see here, just to see if a similar result appears in the practice database. If so, I could select the patient, and that would resolve the conflict. Since the patient does not exist in my practice, I will click New, create the patient based on the information on the screen, and then click OK. As always, pay careful attention to the details about your patient to prevent creating a duplicate patient chart. In this example, the names differ just slightly, but represent different charts. When I'm done matching all my patients, I will click Commit. The patient files will disappear from the queue, and the records will be sent to the patient's chart. To review, select the record first, view the details in the Message Details area, match the items required, and then commit the changes. This concludes our video on using the Rosetta holding tank. Thanks for watching.